Good morning, my wonderful students. Today marks the end of our third week of packet learning. For today's exercise, we are going to do what I would call a number puzzle, and the directions say this. It's called 24. So our directions say, lay 4 cards out or write 4 different numbers down between 1 and 9 and try to make the numbers equal to 24 by using addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. For example, if the cards were 6, 9, 2, and 1, 9 times 2 is 18, 18 plus 6 is 24, and 24 times 1 equals 24. So again, this game is called 24. The goal of the game is to make 24 by using any of our operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So this game involves a lot of trial and error. You're going to have to try a lot of different ways of adding or subtracting, multiplying your numbers, and you might get a little bit frustrated. When I was trying to do this myself, it took me a while to actually come up with some solutions, so don't give up. First, I'm going to go through an example with you. Then I'm going to give you 4 sets of numbers, and I'm going to have you pause the video and try to come up with the solutions yourself. And then afterwards, I'll go through the solution to each one. So in our example, we're going to use the 4 numbers 4, 3, 2, and 6. Again, these numbers, maybe you choose them from a deck of cards, or maybe you just write 4 random numbers on a piece of paper. Make sure that you don't have any of the same numbers. So if you want to try this example for yourself, I would pause the video now. Otherwise, I'll go through the solution. So using these 4 numbers, maybe you started with addition and found out that didn't work. Maybe you started with subtraction and found out that didn't really help you either. This solution is going to involve multiplication and addition. So if you take our 4 and our 3, 4 times 3 makes 12. And if you do 2 times 6, 2 times 6 also equals 12. And using our 12 and our other 12, we can add 12 and 12 to make 24. So again, 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 times 6, which is 12, makes our solution 24. Okay, are you ready for your problems? So again, you can choose whichever 4 numbers you want if you want to come up with it on your own. However, not all 4 combinations of numbers get you to 24. So you might come up with 4 numbers and keep trying them in different ways, and you never get 24. But I came up with 4 problems that I know will get you to 24. So the first one, use 9, 4, 8, and 3. In the second problem, use 3, 6, 5, and 2. In the third problem, use 1, 2, 4, and 3. And in the fourth problem, use 1, 5, 6, and 2. So it's your turn to try mess around with the numbers, figure out if you can make each problem equal to 24. So I encourage you right now, pause the video, write these numbers on your paper, and start adding them, multiplying them, subtracting them until you get to 24. So you might have kept playing the video again because you want me to jump right into how to do the answers. But before I tell you how to do it, I'm going to give you a little hint, so then you can try it again for yourself. So one of these problems involves only adding. You need to figure out which one it is. One of these problems involves only multiplying. One of these problems uses multiplying and subtraction. And the last one involves adding, subtracting, and multiplying. That one's the hardest one. You got to figure out which problem involves adding, subtracting, and multiplying. So if you haven't already given it a try, use my hints that I just gave you. Pause the videos and try to come up with 24. And remember, the whole point of this activity is for you to try and problem solve yourself. If you just wait for my answers, that's not going to really help you get better at math. Because once we see the answers, it's pretty obvious how we get to 24, but I want you to solve the problem and go through a bunch of trial and error before you get the solution. Okay, so when I give you your hints, I said one of these problems involves only adding. Were you able to find it? It's number 1. 9 plus 4 plus 8 plus 3 gets us to 24. Because 9 plus 4 makes 13. 13 plus the next number in the list, 8, is 21. And in the list, we still have 3. 21 plus 3 equals 24. So number 1, we had the numbers 9, 4, 8, and 3. And we add them all to get 24. Okay, next I gave you the hint, which one involves only multiplying? Which one of our lists uses only multiplying? And that is number 3. So we have 1, 2, 4, and 3. Multiply them all to get 24. So we have 1 times 2, which makes 2. Anything times 1 stays the same. Next in our list we had 4. 2 times 4 makes 8. And the last number was 3. So we take 8. 8 times 3 equals 24. So again, in this problem, our numbers were 1, 2, 4, and 3. We multiply them all to get 24. Okay, so our next two are a little bit trickier. One of them involves multiplying and subtraction. Multiplying and subtraction. And this one was a little bit trickier. This one is number 2. So you might have had to go through a bunch of tries to figure out which ones you're multiplying together, and then how we can subtract to get our answer. So in number 2 we have 3, 6, 5, and 2. And what we're going to do is multiply 6 times 5 and multiply 3 times 2 and then subtract them. So we have 6 times 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we have 2 times 3, which is 2, 4, 6. And if we subtract 30 minus 6, we get our answer 24. Awesome. That one was a little bit harder. Are you ready for the biggest challenge? Our last problem involves adding, multiplication, and subtraction. And which one do we have left? Number 4. So we need to take 1, 5, 6, and 2 and add, subtract, and multiply to get us to 24. So how I solved it was we take 1 and 5 and add them together. Take 6 minus 2. And then we multiply those answers. So again, problem 4, we have 1 plus 5, which makes 6. Then take the other 6 and subtract the 2 to get 4. And then we know that we can multiply 6 times 4 to get 24. Awesome. So that is all 4 problems that I had for you. Again, I encourage you to try to come up with other sets of 4 numbers that you can make into 24. I came up with 5 examples on my own. See if you can come up with another 5. Other than that, we are done for today, and I look forward to starting week 4 with you on Monday.